Hey guys, I'm here in Spain test driving this beauty right here, which is Audi e-tron. But today I actually wanted to talk to you about something that I've seen in the news in the last few days, which is Joe Rogan, who, as you know, had a pretty famous episode, at least in our community, where Elon Musk came on his show for a while and had a very odd kind of out-of-body experience almost. But of course, him smoking a little bit of weed there became kind of a big news. And as you probably know, the picture and a few pictures and art and all of that stuff that came out of it became pretty prolific. So now, at that time, I didn't really think it was a good idea. I still don't think it was a good idea. Obviously, SpaceX is being delayed with some of their contracts because of he's being investigated. But let's just leave it all aside. I know there are a lot of fans of Joe Rogan show in my audience, which is fine. I'm not a big fan, to be honest with you. And the reason I'm not a big fan is actually because he's such a gearhead, as they call him, right? This is like a good all-American guy who loves football and engines and all of that stuff. And you know, I don't know, it's because I'm coming from Europe and I have a little bit of a different culture there. I've lived here for about 25 years. You know, it is what essentially how I look at Joe Rogan. And let's just me explain it. Like, this is not about Joe Rogan. I'm just using it as an example because you know, he is somebody that a lot of you are familiar with, but also somebody who just had a big sort of a turnaround because he finally got himself a P100D, which is a Tesla Model S, which Elon himself has talked to him personally. Now, Elon Musk cannot be going around door to door selling the concept of electric cars. You know, obviously Joe Rogan had a privilege of doing that. But I guess what I'm saying is that there are a lot of Joe Rogans in the world, and we all have to be Elon Musks and essentially try to sell the idea of electric cars. And it's not easy. Obviously, you know, there are quite a few things that people are still, you know, worried about, the range and in the charging infrastructure and many other things. But at the same time, I'm glad that this is a pretty good example of how to turn the gearhead around. So he changes his mind, or at least sees the future. You know, he said that he believes this is the future. Now, some people argue that no, Joe, it's kind of the present. We've been doing this for a few years now, and you're just only now catching up. But really, if you think about it, for most people, it is the future. I mean, not everybody can afford. As a matter of fact, most people, you might be surprised, some of you watching, most people cannot afford a P100D, which is a $120,000, $130,000 car. But what we can do is that, and by the way, before I go any further, of course, I want to forget that this show is sponsored by Starman Gifts, the Adventures of Starman. I brought it with me all the way to Spain here. There's a discount code in the description of this video. If you want to relive the launch of the Falcon Heavy, this is an amazing thing for you. The discount code is also in the description of this video, just like the link. I believe this is the only place where you can get a discount for this awesome comic book. I guess it's more than a comic book, if you ask me, but that discount code also works with everything that they sell over there. So check it out in the description of this video. All right, and you know, we do want to sell the concept of electric cars to people like Joe Rogan, and I think this is why it's important to examine, you know, how did we get there? Why was he, you know, so resistant to the concept of electric cars, and what took him to be convinced that it is really the future? And you know, obvious things. You know, this is unfortunate because I think the electric cars carry so many other technological advances. Like, you know, for example, look at this one. This is the first one that I see with cameras instead of mirrors. And you know, there's self-driving features. There's so many different interesting technology that we see in these electric cars. But unfortunately, the way to convince guys like him is basically show how amazing of a performance these cars actually are. Now, the Audi, you know, I'm here on the strip because Audi invited me, but part of this media drive, they brought us to a racetrack, and a lot of people kind of raced this e-trons, which I did, but they also had R8s, right? And I look at that rate, I was like, well, guys, what's 0 to 60? Well, I'm in Europe, so what's 0 to 100 kilometers an hour? And they're like 3.4, something like that. And I'm thinking like, but The four-door sedan Tesla can do it in 2.4, which is a whole second better, and so it's amazing that this, I don't know how much our R8 is, you guys I'm sure put in the comment section, but I'm assuming, you know, $150,000 to $200,000, definitely more expensive than the P100D with the ludicrous mode, and it's considered to be a sporty, amazing kind of exotic car, and it can accelerate as fast as Tesla because of the electric technology, because of the torque, and because of stuff like that. So unfortunately, the way to convince people like Joe Rogan and like good old American boys who believe in trucks and gasoline and noise and all of that stuff is by showing how amazing of a performance these cars are. And like, you know, just like I said, I just came back from test driving this at the racetrack, and I gotta tell you, I tried to spin this car for real. Like, and I'll show you the footage when I get back. I tried to spin this car for real, and I couldn't, right? Because of an amazing track technology, but also, and they actually have a mode for that, but also because the battery is so low on these cars, right? All electric cars, pretty much, if you do it right, have the battery all the way at the bottom. So you can really overturn them, and they are not going into the tailspin as easily. So, you know, so the question is, and I'm going to pose this to you guys, because I don't quite know, like, I'm not a big fan of, you know, taking off at the, you know, from the red light when it turns green, beating everybody in your Tesla or whatever. There's got to be a better way how we can actually sort of showcase this amazing technology, but also showcase the fact that these cars are, you know, as far as the performance is concerned, is also much, much better. Anyway, I'm going to pose a question to you. I'm going to look for them in the comment section. Other than that, I'm going to enjoy the rest of this afternoon. Look at this. How beautiful is this? I got to tell you, if I wish you could see the rest of the valley here. And I'll post some pictures on my Instagram feed, but this is absolutely amazing. And you know, this media drives, I've gone to a few now, and they usually take part of the, you know, scenic drive, and I've gone to, you know, Great Britain and Santa Cruz and a few other places now. But I gotta tell you, this place is absolutely amazing. We're in the south of Spain, in Marbella, Spain, so it's absolutely amazing. Anyway, looking forward to your comment section. Other than that, see you guys next time, and remember to stay charged.